How we doing, you guys? Prada Gino here. And I told you this week I was going to let you know who I was endorsing for President of the United States and why. So first and foremost, I appreciate you for tuning in. And I appreciate you guys for listening to my concerns and, trying to understand and piece together this current administration and what they've been doing lately, which is not in benefit of the majority of Americans. And I think that we need a formidable opponent on the other side, a voice of reason, someone that everyone can trust. And we got to remember too, it's not just about winning this election. It's about unifying a party that is continually becoming more split as we see people as more progressive liberals and more moderate liberals now starting to split. So the candidate that I would most likely put up against Donald Trump and the Republican Party would be Joe Biden. And as much as I want to move forward with a progressive Democrat, I really feel like the chances of them beating a unified Republican Party is looking very bleak right now. And Joe Biden has a track record. He has a fantastic track record as far as being Vice President of the United States. He helped unify our allies. Him and President Obama came up with some great structural changes to NATO that helped us in the Middle East originally and helped us unify our allies. Now, we need someone that also can get Republican votes. It can't just be a full partisan voting scheme going into 2020. We have to have someone who can speak to the Republican Party as well and be able to help get independents more unified with the liberal stance for this country and unifying all people together. Because as of right now, as much as the Republican Party is unified and it's 98%, 99%, right? It's so partisan that whatever they do goes completely against the values of the Democratic side. And it's all about an attack, an attack, an attack. But the whole idea of being the President of the United States should be for you to unify the country, not split it and keep talking about how your party is completely unified behind you. Because what about the other 60, 70 million people that are like, hey, we have a voice too, we're here. And we're just as important to you as any other American. And that's why I'm going to endorse Joe Biden for President of the United States. And I think that maybe having a progressive governor, or not, I'm sorry, a more progressive vice president is a good idea. I don't think he should run with a Republican because I think that he already has more of a moderate and conservative liberal stance. It's an interesting idea to think of it that way, but he's like an oxymoron. He has the values of a conservative, but pushes for liberal agenda. And I think that is necessary. And I think that really helps Congress, unify, and it helps a president understand and see both sides of the argument and be able to come up with the best legislation that works for all Americans as a whole. And I'm sorry, but I really like Bernie Sanders and I really would like for him to be the nominee, but I just don't think that he can unify all Americans. I think he has some great plans. And I think that maybe he can be a great, chairman of a committee in the Senate or, someone in the presidential cabinet. But as of right now, I just don't think that Americans are going to unify behind a far left progressive candidate. And so here we are. We need to vote for Joe Biden, and we need him to win the Iowa caucus, New Hampshire, go into Super Tuesday on top of the candidacy. And he will move into primary, and we will see him go up against Donald Trump. And we know Donald Trump's language, and we know that Joe Biden has a much stronger and sophisticated tongue, and will be able to counter anything that Donald Trump throws at him. And I think that it's going to show that, you know, someone as self-proclaiming and so full of himself will look so bad in a debate where somebody who's trying to unify the country. So I need you guys to get behind this and understand that your candidates do matter. And that one day, that progressive candidate will make a difference. But I think today, in this society, in this presidential election, we need someone strong. We need someone with the track record to win. And we need someone who understands foreign policy, that we can continue to unify the world rather than destroy it. We're on the brink of World War III. There's so much talks of it. As much as people joke about it, it's as true as it comes. If these other powers start to fight and win for oil, you know, democracy in the Middle East, then America loses all of its foreign power. We still sell barrels of oil in US dollars to everyone. And that is why we are still on top of the world. That's why our market as the US dollar is still considered the best paper to have. And yet, if we continue to pull out of treaties in the Middle East, where all of that oil is, we're gonna lose that power. And Russia's gonna move right in. So we need someone that's gonna unify us. We need someone that's gonna help create a better structure for the Iranians and also for the Middle East. And I think that the best candidate for that is someone like Joe Biden, who has the track record of working with foreign leaders, respecting foreign leaders, knowing them by their first names. That's who I'm endorsing. That's who Prada Gino's endorsing. And maybe one day I'll be able to align my values with one of these moderates, or one of these progressives. But for now, I'm looking at the moderate approach. And I'm looking at the next 4 years and how we can stop some of the crazy things that Donald Trump is doing. Because in the next 4 years, if we lose, I'm telling you, there's gonna be so many worse consequences for America to face under this administration. And we have to change that today.
I'm gon' catch a vibe, gon' catch a vibe. Gon' catch a vibe, girl, get it right. Gon' catch a vibe, young, light, bright.